Leaked comments from a private Facebook group for police officers have fueled outrage over racism among French law enforcement. Members of the group repeatedly used racist and sexist terms and mocked victims of police brutality.
Here's a summary of the article.
Leaked comments from a private Facebook group for police officers have fueled outrage over racism among French law enforcement. Members of the group repeatedly used racist and sexist terms, and mocked victims of police brutality. A black police officer filed a complaint against 6 white colleagues in December 2019 after discovering an abundance of racist messages on the private WhatsApp group, often concerning him. Castaner pledged on Wednesday that every mistake, every excess, every word including racist expressions by police would be the subject of an investigation, a decision, a punishment. The French police isn't racist, he said. A new protest has been called for Saturday near the Eiffel Tower in Paris using the slogans, "Let us breathe" and "No justice, no peace," echoing the words used since George Floyd's death sparked demonstrations across the U.S. French authorities have tried to ban demonstrations against police brutality planned for Saturday in front of the U.S. Embassy in Paris, citing a coronavirus restriction on gatherings of more than 10 people. His death has long been a rallying cause for critics of the French police.
This post received a score of 42,000, with an upvote ratio of 92%. Here are the top comments in response to this article.
Racism and sociopathy in law enforcement is not exclusively an American issue. At some point, the world's gotta choose to be ruled by the compassionate, instead of by the power trippers.
To paraphrase Frank Herbert, it's less that power corrupts and more that power attracts the corrupt.
I honestly think Frank Herbert was a bit of a political visionary. He predicted the Afghan trap 10 to 15 years before it happened. I think he had a little bit of that prescience himself.
Who was this Frank Herbert? Some sort of mentat?
I had always assumed he took a large dose of melange and glimpsed the future in a metaphysical trance. However, you raise an interesting possibility that he may have simply used information and logical deduction to extrapolate a version of future events. Either way, love the username. Very creative.
Greater than either way, love the username. Very creative. It's similar to the National Lampoon's parody of Dune called Dune. I own a first edition copy. They used Kumquat Haagen-Dazs as the name along with a ruckus instead of Arrakis. Paul versus Paul Peter, De Vries versus Peter Sapphire Halfwit Shattup IV, the Potted Bra Emperor revved up Mother George Cynthia Moharim of the Bony Maroni Spilgard of the Hooch Grab, leader of the Freedmenmen the Schlepping Guild and so forth. It's a solid read and from the writers of Board of the Rings, not to mention National Lampoon's vacation movies.
That's great. I wasn't aware this existed.
I love Dune. I'm actually reading the 3rd book in the series and I have 3 more books after that. When I was looking to buy the next 3 books, Dune came up as a sponsored link and I looked it up. That book made me laugh out loud. It's pretty funny and the story is based on Dune, just tweaks the characters and motivations. There are too many racists in French police, but usually they're able to conceal it. Good thing they get caught.
The biggest problem in America isn't the racist police, it's the power, lack of accountability they have. Other countries have racist police, they just know what they can get away with and what not. I was racially profiled, randomly stopped a lot in Germany, but I knew I never had to fear for my life interacting with the cops. Sure, they were probably racist, but they knew what they couldn't get away with.
There are a lot of stories of people getting killed by the police here in France. It's mostly that there aren't any body cams, and if it's not filmed there's no way it would end up as a problem for them, and even with a video it often doesn't lead to any punishment for the cops. I remember a story from 2015 at the height of ISIS fear. A black dude in custody in a precinct for no reason was killed. According to the cops, he was a terrorist and tried to kill them with a knife, when it was just a regular dude they snatched at a barbershop IIRC. There are a lot of stories like that. The whole police brutality on crowds caught on camera is 2018 and 2019 for us, with the same lies from the government who feign not to see anything. Hell, Macron's personal chief of security was caught on camera disguised as a cop beating the shit out of people in a protest, apparently on special orders from above, and the only punishment for anybody was that he lost his job. It seems a little more intense in the US, but it's mostly the same here. Strange day of seeing all that elsewhere.
This video was automatically created by Reddit to speech. The article and comments in this video were selected from Reddit according to their upvotes, and any paraphrasing was performed by smmry.com, without any human intervention.